This takes us over to New York. Now, you guys know that net neutrality and municipal broadband is a huge part of the mission of this show. And next year, I want to start making mini documentaries around the issues of city-owned internet and municipal broadband, which is municipal broadband and net neutrality. And what we always said is that it's important to fight for net neutrality policy while simultaneously trying to take internet access out of big cable's hands and put it into the hands of cities and municipalities and people. And by the way, there's been a study conducted by Harvard that shows that when city-owned internet is in place, residents pretty much 100% of the time either get completely comparable or better internet. Usually it's better. It's at least just as good. And it's cheaper 100% of the time. So it saves towns and municipalities money. It creates jobs, and they're local, sustainable jobs by people in your community, not just some cable company comes in and gets a bunch of contractors. These are solid, sustainable city jobs. And you get a better internet at a better price, and it's going to stay free and open. So, but net neutrality policy is important in the meantime, because we need it. And I always said, so New York, we're working on a really good net neutrality bill that should be moving forward. Or excuse me, California has a good net neutrality bill here where I live. And New York is actually pushing for one as well. Now, here's the thing. You might think, I don't live in California. I don't live in New York. How does this pertain to me? Here's how it pertains to you. First of all, other states will follow. Second of all, if California and New York get solid net neutrality laws, it's going to protect the internet for everyone, because now you kind of tether these big cable companies, because they're like, oh, we want to unroll these post net neutrality packages that we're going to screw consumers even harder than we're already screwing them. But wait, we can't unroll them in California and we can't unroll them in New York. That's a hell of a lot of customer base, and we can't even unroll them there. So now it's not worth it for us to unroll them. So if California gets solid net neutrality, which we're on path, we're moving forward with it, because there was a court ruling recently that said states can have their own net neutrality protections. But here's what's going on in New York. New York governor promises net neutrality legislation in 2020. Andrew Cuomo, not the biggest Andrew Cuomo fan, but this is good news. Andrew Cuomo is following the lead of California and promising a law to reinstate net neutrality protections in New York State. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is joining states like California in proposing a law to ensure his state's internet users have access to a free and open internet. On Thursday, he called for a New York State net neutrality law as part of his 2020 legislative agenda. Cuomo's plan comes nearly 2 years after the FCC repealed Obama-era net neutrality protections. All right. So here's what Cuomo had to say. A free and open internet is one of the great equalizers, allowing every person the same access to information and helping protect freedom of speech. He said proposed legislation would assure that big corporations can't control what information we access or stymie smaller companies. All right, so this is huge. Hopefully this moves forward in New York, and hopefully it continues to move forward in California as well. If California and New York get net neutrality, it will spread across the country, and it will tether these big cable companies. So something to look forward to in the new year.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. Go through it together and make it our own. Get your